manger cradle in Bethlehem. But have you ever heard the story of the other wise man who also saw the star in its rising and set out to follow it, yet did not arrive with his brethren in the presence of the young child Jesus? Listen to the tale of Artaban, as we have heard it in the Hall of Dreams, in the palace of the heart of man. It is a time when Augustus Caesar is master of many kings and Herod reigns in Jerusalem. Far to the east among the mountains of Persia, there dwells in the city of Ecbatana a certain man named Artaban. He is a scholar, philosopher, an astronomer, one of the Magi, who are famous for their learning and ability to heal the sick with medicines made from herbs. Around the pleasant dwelling of Artaban, there spreads a lovely garden, a tangle of flowers and fruit seeds, made musical by many birds. But Artaban has sold his house, as we shall hear. He has met for the last time with 9 friends. He has reminded them of the ancient Zoroastrian prophecy which tells that a great king shall arise out of Israel. And he tells them of the new star which he saw in the spring of the year, which he believes will lead him to the king. Yet not a single one of the 9 is willing to go with him on the journey. And now comes the most difficult part of Artaban's great adventure. He must bid farewell to his old father. They know they may never see each other again.
My father, you have always taught me that the highest of all knowledge is the knowledge of the stars. And religion without a great hope will be like an altar without living fire. Remember the prophecy, in the appointed time, victorious one shall arise, and around him shall shine mighty brightness. Father, I only know that when I see the new star, I feel a great beckoning, an excitement such as I have never known before. And I shall not be alone. My 3 friends, Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthazar, are waiting at the ancient temple in Babylonia. When the new star appears again, as we are certain it will, they will wait 10 days for me, and we will set out together for Jerusalem to see and worship the promised one who shall be born King of Israel. Yes, and I have bought these 3 fields. They are to be my gift to the king.
A ruby, rather than the waves of us. God, as built as waves on mountain. My son, it may be that the light of truth is in the sign that has appeared in the skies. Or it may be that this only is out of light, and the healing before us only have a long pilgrimage and an empty soul. I am too old for this journey, but my heart shall go with you day and night. Go with peace.
Far over the eastern plain, white stretches like a lake, but over the western horizon, the sky is clear. Suddenly, as Artaban watches, behold, an azure spark is born, rounding itself with purple splendors to a crimson sphere. It spires upward through rays of saffron into a point of white radiance, pulsating in the sky.
It is a sign. The king is coming, and I will go to meet him.
Artaban must ride well if he is at the appointed hour with the other 3 Magi. He travels daily into the night and in the morning long before sunrise. Finally, toward evening on the 10th day, he arrives beneath the walls of Babylon. It is 3 hours' journey to the temple of the 7 spheres, and he must reach the place by midnight if he is to find his friends waiting. A grove of date palms looms in the twilight. Suddenly, Artaban's horse stops a few feet short of a dark object in the shadow of the last palm tree.
A poor man, unconscious. I wonder what evil have befallen upon him. Beaten and robbed? No, his skin is hot and dry. It must be deadly fever to strike this time of year. He is all but dead. I cannot help him. I must go on, or I will be too late. What should I do? If I stay, the man will die anyway, and I will lose my quest. By his dress, he is only one of the poor Hebrew exiles, and there are thousands like him in Babylon. But what if I could have saved him? God of truth and purity, direct me in the holy path. Why do I stand here debating with myself and asking for guidance? I cannot go on. I must stay and do what I can.
Hour after hour, Artaban labors to bring down the man's fear. At last, the man's strength returns.
Who are you? Why have you brought me here to bring back my life?
I am Artaban, one of the Magi from the city of Ecbatana. I am going to Jerusalem in search of one who is reborn King of Israel. I dare not delay any longer upon my journey, for the caravan that has waited for me may depart without me. But see, here is all that I have left of bread and wine, and here is a portion of eating herbs. Your fever has gone down, and you can find your gleanings of Hebrews among the houses of Babylon.
May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless and prosper your journey. I have nothing to give you in return, but only this. I know where the Messiah must be sown, for our prophets have said that he must be born not in Jerusalem, but in Bethlehem, in Judea.
Bethlehem, I'll tell my companions, farewell.
It is already long past midnight. Artaban comes in haste. The first beam of the sun finds him anxiously scanning the temple of the 7 spheres. But there is no trace of his friends. He climbs the highest terrace. He climbs to the highest terrace. Looking toward the west, he finds a piece of parchment and reads it.
To Artaban, we have waited long past the midnight and can delay no longer. We go to find the king. Follow us across the desert. How can I cross the desert with no food and a spent horse? They had promised me a command and provision, but I cannot blame them for not waiting. I must return to Babylon, sell my sapphire to buy food and provision for my journey. I may never overtake my friends, but I must try. But then, another question. Shall I go to Jerusalem as we had planned? Or shall I go to Babylon as the Hebrew told me I should do? If there is any virtue in stopping to show mercy, then I shall make Bethlehem my destination. Who knows, perhaps I shall be first to reach the king.
And yet, even now, the great miracle in Bethlehem has already taken place.
Come, my darling, come and help me. For lovely is the child who learns to deliver. With thanksgiving to the Lord our God. Each season in its turn brings food and drink to those who love the earth and cherish it. Our vineyard gives us grapes for wines. Our lambs provide their wool and bees their honey. And we have hot cakes to eat tonight, and milk for you to drink, my darling. Our home is filled with love and plenty. And you are growing like a little bird, Soon you will learn to sing a song that you have made yourself, song of Jacob's coat, song of many colors, song of love and praise to reach the ear of the Lord our God.
And now it is the third day after the Magi have gone. Guided by the rays of the star, they have found Jesus with Mary and Joseph, and have laid their gifts at his feet. They have gone their way, returning to Persia. But Artaban does not know of these happenings. He draws near, weary but full of hope, bearing his ruby and his bowl to offer to the king.
Now at last I shall surely find him, though I come alone. This is Bethlehem, the place of which the Hebrew told me. But where are the people? Peace be unto you.
And unto you as well.
The village of the streets are deserted. I have been wondering, is it the time when we go to the hill pasture to bring down their sheep?
They are in the hills, it is true, but that is not the reason. Who are you?
I am Artaban, one of the Magi from the city of Abatana. I am one of those who follow the teachings of the Jerusalem. We are called the Magi, and I have come many miles in search of three of my brethren. Have you seen others like me recently?
Yes, there are three strangers from the east who came here a few days ago. Each wore a headdress like your own, but they are gone now. It is said you have come too late to find them.
But tell me, what did they say and do while they were here? Where did they go?
They said that a star had guided them to Bethlehem, and they found a man called Joseph of Nazareth, and with his wife and their newborn son, and they were very rich men by their clothing and by the gifts which they give to Joseph and Mary for the child. They said it was all very strange.
But have they gone? Which way did they go, and where can I find the child you speak of?
I am filled with sorrow to tell you, for I can see you have come a long way for nothing. The travelers disappeared as suddenly as they had come. We were afraid at the strangeness of the visit. We could not understand. Took the baby and his wife and then fled away that same night secretly. And it was whispered that they were going far away to Egypt. Ever since, there has been a spell upon Bethlehem.
Spell?
Yes, something evil seems to hang over us. They say that the Roman soldiers are coming to force a new tax from us, and the men have driven the flocks in herds far back among the hills and hidden themselves to escape it.
I wish it could have been this child. Kings have been born in lonelier houses than this, and the favorite of the stars may rise even from the cottage. But it does not seem good to the God of wisdom to reward my search so soon and so easily. The one I seek has gone before me, and now I must follow him to Egypt.
Please come into my house. It will give me great pleasure to offer you such drink and food as we have.
Thank you for your courtesy to a stranger. I am weary. I'm all alone in this place. I'm waiting to meet you. Prudent captain, who will lead me to peace.
Forward, march! Forward!
God of truth, what else could I do? Yet this is the second time that I have spent which I intended for the king. Shall I ever be worthy to see his face?
You have saved the life of my little one. May the Lord bless you and keep you wherever you go.
The sorrow of this village is much greater than my own. Come, let us see what Herod has done and help our neighbors as we are able.
There is a silence with the hall of dreams, deep and mysterious. The years of Artaban are flowing swiftly, and we catch only a glimpse of him here and there. We see him among the throngs of people in Egypt, searching everywhere for traces of the family that had fled from Bethlehem. We see him again in the garden of a remote house in Alexandria, taking counsel from a Hebrew rabbi. The old man reads from his scrolls of parchment the words which foretell the sufferings of the promised Messiah, the despised and the rejected of men, the man of sorrows.
My friend, the king you are seeking is not to be found in the palace or among the rich and powerful.
What manner of king do you see then?
The light for which the world is waiting is a new light. The glory that shall rise out of patience and triumphant sufferings. The kingdom will be a new kingdom, the kingdom of love. This, I do not know how this shall come to pass, but I do know, those who seek him must look upon the poor and lowly, the sorrowful and oppressed.
I must seek him then, in the hidden way of sorrow. Peace be with you.
Peace be with you, my friend.
And so the other wise man continues his travels from place to place. Though Artaban finds none to worship, he finds many to help. He feeds the hungry, clothes the naked, heals the sick, and comforts the captive. And his years go by more swiftly than a weaver's shuttle that flashes back and forth through the loom while the web grows and the invisible pattern is completed. Listen, then, to the final chapter of the story of the other wise man. 330 years have passed since Artaban began his pilgrimage, worn and ready to die, but still searching for the king. He is coming for the last time to Jerusalem. He has visited the city before and has searched through all its lanes and crowded hovels and black prisons without finding any trace of the family. It is the season of the Passover. Jerusalem is thronged with strangers, the children of Israel, scattered in far lands all over the world, have returned to the temple for the great feast, and there has been a confusion of tongues in the narrow streets for many days. But on this day, there is a singular agitation visible in the multitude. The sky is veiled with gloom, and currents of excitement seem to flush through the crowd like the thrill which shakes a forest on the eve of a storm. The clatter of sandals in the soft, thick sound of thousands of bare feet shuffling over the stones flow unceasingly along the street that leads to the Damascus gate. Artaban joins company with a group of people from his own country, Parthian Jews who have come out to keep the Passover.
Where are you going? What is this noise about?
We're going to a place called Golgotha outside the city walls. Have you not heard? 2 robbers are to be crucified, and with them another called Jesus of Nazareth.
The priests and elders have said that this Jesus must die because he has claimed himself to be the Son of God. And Pilate has sent him to the cross because he has given himself to be the King of the Jews. But everybody knows that Herod is the King of the Jews.
King of the Jews? Could it be the same man that was born 330 years ago?
They called him Jesus of Nazareth, not Bethlehem.
No, we're too late to watch.
Now I seem to remember the woman in Bethlehem called the child's father Joseph of Nazareth. Why did I never think to go there all these years? And Nazareth was the place. And all these years, and I must go. The voice of God is stranger than the thoughts of men, and it might be that I shall find the king at last, today, in the hands of his enemies, and shall come to offer my pearl for his ransom. Here is your ransom, daughter. This is the last of my treasure I kept for the king.
Sir, sir, are you alright? Sir, can you? Sir, I cannot hear you. What is it that you are saying, sir?
What did he have to fear? What did he have to live for? He had given away the last gift to the king, his tribute. And with that, he gave up the hope of finding him. His quest was over, and he had failed.
Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creations of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you come to visit me.
Lord, when did I see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did I see you a stranger and invite you in, or bring you clothes and clothe you? When did I see you in prison or sick and come to visit you?
I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me.
Calm redeems of wonder and joy lighted the pale face of Artaban, like the finest ray of dawn on a snowy mountain peak in one long. Last breath of relief exhaled gently from his lips. His journey was ended, his treasure were accepted. The other wise man had found the king. In the midst of this Advent season, this holiest of times, may you find hope, light and life in the smallest acts of love and compassion. And remember, the journey is the answer. The answer is the journey.
Thank you.